All right, you guys. So we're going to make a tier list. In today's tier list, we're going to be talking about classic Batman live action. Now, do I want to include the animated series? I do, but I found one list. It was just way too in depth. So the plan is we're just going to do the live action series from 1966. We're not going to include the black and white pre-trailer ones they did in the 40s and 50s. We're going to start at Batman 1966, work our way up, and talk about each and every single one, and try not to spoil too much. Now, the older ones, I might spoil. Who knows? Let's get into it, you guys. So, here we go. We're starting with Batman 1966, and of course, you guys can tell we go S through F. Batman 1966. Where do I start? So, it's Adam West as Batman. I can't remember what the guy, the actor that played Robin's name is. Super goofy. A lot of the boom, pow, wow, fighting sequences. If you're looking for something goofy, it's definitely worth watching. But me personally, like I did watch this within the last like 2 years. It's a C tier for me because it's just one of those movies that you watch and it's like it just brings back nostalgia because I remember watching the classic Batman 1966 episodes on TV Land when I was a kid. One of the things I loved was watching that on TV Land. But Batman 1966, I give it, I give it a C tier. It's entertaining, but it's goofy. Followed by Batman. It's Batman 1989. This is the one done by Tim Burton. Michael Keaton as Batman. You got Jack Nicholson as the Joker. And I know a lot of people always talk about how Jack Nicholson's portrayal of the Joker is amazing. And I will say that Jack Nicholson's portrayal of the Joker is very well done. But it's more of a comic, like a classic comic Joker compared to the Dark Knight Heath Ledger one, which we'll talk about here later. In my opinion, the original Batman movie, Batman 1989, is really well done. It's really good story. I give it an A tier because like if you're looking for a cartoon comic book style, that definitely is it. The next one, Batman Returns. Let me tell you, I love him. I fell in love with Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Amazing. Danny DeVito is the Penguin. Michael Keaton reprising his role as Batman, which it really disappoints me. He wasn't in more Batman movies, Michael Keaton. This one was also done by Tim Burton. It's such a good movie. They put a lot into it, and it doesn't feel overwhelming like some of these that we will get into. Batman Returns definitely goes in A tier next to Batman 1989, but I put Batman 1989 slightly edging it out. Batman Forever. So Batman Forever, I believe this is George. No, it's not George Clooney. Val Kilmer plays Batman. You got Jim Carrey as the Riddler because Jim Carrey played the perfect Riddler. Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, and like Batman Forever. And it's funny because like those movies, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, those two movies, I really tried to like justify and fight for those movies and say they're not that bad when in fact they are terrible. Like Batman Forever, it's not as bad as Batman and Robin, but Batman Forever goes in D tier. It's pretty bad. Poor writing, poor script writing, like just all around poor. Batman and Robin, I remember when I told my ex, I was like, Batman and Robin's a really good movie. Now, mind you, this is Nipple Suit Batman. This is George Clooney Batman. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. You got Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. And when they first introduced Mr. Freeze, his opening line was, "Ice to meet you." That's when my ex looked at me and was like, this movie isn't that bad. And that's when I was like, okay, you're right. It's okay. And then like as we continued watching it, it kept getting worse and worse. I mean, yeah, it's just not that good. So now we're moving into the Dark Knight trilogy. The Dark Knight trilogy, phenomenal movies. I'll say that. Dark Knight Rises did take quite a bit of a stumble, but Batman Begins, I definitely put it as a high A tier. I'd probably put it just below Batman 1989, Batman Begins, and then Batman Returns. Amazing movie. It's a great setup. I mean, one thing like we always talk about is like how many more of these goddamn movies do you need to have the origin stories told on Batman? They're not even needed anymore. You could just jump directly into the Batman storyline, much like we'll talk about with the Batman. Batman Begins though, phenomenal movie, phenomenal writing, phenomenal cinematography, amazing. Which then we move into the masterpiece that is The Dark Knight. It's going to be the only S tier in this whole video. In my opinion, The Dark Knight is a masterpiece. It is amazing. And like I said, when it comes down to it, the Jack Nicholson Joker, great comic book portrayal of the Joker, but the Heath Ledger Joker is more of a realistic Joker, and it's so well done. So well done. Followed by Dark Knight Rises. We'll put Dark Knight Rises in the B category. I think that if Heath Ledger didn't pass away, the trilogy would have been amazing. But with the passing of Heath Ledger, it kind of poo-pooed the entire plan, the entire script, to the point where like it's not that good. So, I mean, it's below Batman Begins, which like I said, phenomenal movie. Dark Knight is a masterpiece, but Dark Knight Rises, I mean, Tom Hardy played a great Bane. Christopher Nolan did a great job at directing it, but there's a lot of it. It's just drawn out for no reason. Next one. This is Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. This is not the extended cut. This is the extended cut. The regular version of this movie is missing a lot. So, I would put it in D tier, just in front of Batman Forever. Because, like, oh, wait, that's extended. This is okay. The regular version's missing a lot. It's still like 2.5 hours long almost, where the extended cut's 3. And the extended cut, I would put just in front of Batman 1966. It's a great movie, but it's just super long, and they just cram way too much into one movie when it should have been multiple movies. It should have just been called The Trinity instead of Batman versus Superman. Yeah. Justice League. So the problem I have with Justice League is the fact that, dude, I was so enthralled. I was so waiting for this movie. This Justice League movie, it should have just been called Cyborg, truth be told, because it focused so much on Cyborg. But the original Justice League movie, D tier, right in front of Batman Forever, but just behind Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I'm not even going to rank the extended cut because I have not even finished the extended cut because it's like 4 hours long. It's on HBO Max if you guys want to go watch it. But with how bad Justice League was, I was like, I'm not even going to check out this Snyder cut of Justice League on, Max because I've been so busy. Followed by the Batman. Okay, so the Batman I've watched a couple times. This movie is phenomenal. It's setting up for a really great world when it comes to Batman. And I say that because just this week, The Penguin came out. I know a lot of people just did not really care for this movie only because it is the Detective Batman. This isn't, Batman fighting one of these ridiculous villains. It's Batman being a detective. It's an amazing movie. I'll put it, no lie, right up here in A tier, right in front of Batman Returns, but behind Batman 89 and Batman Begins. Hey, don't at me. That tier list right there is a perfect tier list. Let's go full screen. That is my Batman live action tier list. I think this is phenomenal. Like I said, I know a lot of people, when it came down to it, a lot of people were hesitant about the Batman with Robert Pattinson. I think it's phenomenal. I highly recommend it. If you got like 2.5, 3 hours to watch a phenomenal movie, like I highly recommend it. And on top of that, you got Zoe Kravitz. You got, the Penguin, which, like I said, just released the show this week. There's been a lot more bad Batman movies than good Batman movies. Now, granted, my A tier has 4, my S tier has 1, B 1, and then C through F has 2, 5, 6. So I mean, it's actually a pretty good spread I got here. Anyways, you guys, don't forget to mash that like button. Comment down below, what is your favorite live action Batman movie? And subscribe. We're on our way to 10,000. I can't do this stuff without you guys. You guys are awesome. Have a great, wonderful day, and I'll catch you later.